Hi, I'm Francesco Pimpinelli. I'm a professional coach and have more than 15 years experience in using systemic constellations in business coaching. Today, I will make a demonstration of a real-life session where I use systemic constellations. The purpose of this video is to show you how systemic constellations can be used in a one-on-one coaching session.
So I run my own coaching practice.
Yeah.
And have done for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed as one of my habits and patterns, especially when I'm working with one-on-one clients and when I'm designing programs for team coaching, is that I put too much into the program or into the design, and some of the feedback I'm getting is either it's too full, there's no real clarity, and perhaps there's not enough time.
I see.
So it feels pressurized.
Yeah. Do you mind if I take some paper to take a few notes while we are talking? Okay. So that's it. Okay. So that's clear. And I understand from what you say that it happens quite consistently in a one-on-one session or team sessions.
Yes. There's a tension inside of me with regards to this. On one hand, I want to give a really valuable experience or product to my clients, which is quite rich and maybe complex. And then there's this other side of me that knows that it's too much. I don't need to put so much into it.
Going back to this tension, is there any more specific emotion that is coming up when you are explaining this?
Yeah, it feels a bit like impatience.
Okay.
I feel impatient about it. It's time to declutter all of this.
Okay. So there is tension, frustration, impatience, and it looks like being the right time to transform this into a more positive energy. Okay. And behind this feeling, these feelings that you have been talking about, what is the need? What is the need that is producing these feelings as an effect?
Well, I think on the surface the need is to receive some supervision around how can I become more focused, get more clarity in the presentation of my work. And I think a more deeper personal need is feeling that it really is enough, that what I offer is enough.
Okay, so that like a clarity, if I understand well, the clarity that what you offer is good enough.
Yes.
And what will produce that to you? What kind of needs would satisfy within yourself this fact of knowing that's enough?
Well, it's a sentence that comes up for me. It's, that was a good job.
Okay.
I have these expectations. It's got to blow the lights out or something. I often hear myself saying it's got to really be very powerful. And then there's this quieter aspect, which is like, that was a good job. So I understand that the deep feeling inside is to make a good job, is to provide good value to your client. Feel settled inside.
To make a good job and feeling settled.
And satisfied.
And satisfied. Okay. And
I guess also for the client to feel, that was good, that was clear, and satisfied.
So there is a part related to you to make a good job, to be settled and satisfied, and for the clients to be it's good, clear, and satisfied as well.
Okay. I need that positive feedback from them that this was working.
Okay. All right. So, what would be a good outcome for you to satisfy this need?
It would be a sense of, when dealing with any client or group of clients, it's about being able to take in all that information, which is often quite complex and not neatly laid out, and being able to very clearly see what are the different elements or pieces that need to be addressed.
Okay.
So there's something about discerning what are the key themes or aspects to be worked on,
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then being able to, develop a program or design a, workshop or an intervention which spoke to some of those key aspects,
Okay.
as opposed to, I can often take all of that in, and I can hold lots of different levels of complexity in my mind at the same time, and I try and address all of them,
Yeah.
as opposed to saying, right, well, we've got a certain limit of time
Yeah.
or agenda or contract. You kind of can't address it all. We're going to focus on these three things.
Okay, sure. So it's really about, as you say, discerning the key aspects, finding out what are the necessary aspects that needs to be addressed to fulfill the goal that you have agreed with the client, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, and is there a first step towards that could be the goal for our session today?
Something like to have more clarity on the primary topics to be addressed.
Okay. Clarity on the primary topics to be addressed. What could be the key elements that can enable you or support you to achieve this goal of having clarity on the primary topics to be addressed when designing or running a program?
The first one would be, is an element of self-belief, because a big part of that narrative which says it's not good enough, you need to put more in there, it's not rich enough, complex enough, clever enough, whatever, is about perhaps not fully believing in my ability to address what's required. So I think there's an element of trusting myself or believing in my ability to meet the needs of the client. Yeah, so that would be one.
That would be the resource in this case would be to trust your ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need to feel, I need to experience clarity. What often gets in the way is I don't allow myself a lot of time to actually sit and get clear on what's going on.
Okay.
I kind of feel my way through it in the moment.
I see. So
I don't know if it's time or whether it's
maybe it's reflections or taking, if I understand what you say, it's about taking a preparation or taking time to reflect, reflection or evaluation or analysis. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
What could be a good label for this?
Could we say something like time to evaluate?
Okay.
Well, yeah, in order to evaluate you need time.
Yeah, so it's evaluation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we have trust, we have evaluation. Well, is there anything else that you feel is important to you, like a resource, a behavior, a belief, or skill that you would really need to achieve this goal of having clarity on primary topics to address your intervention, which would contribute to be able to fine-tune which are the key aspects to work on or to work with?
It's a process, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd have to lay it all down, sort it, filter it, get a sense of what were the key things to be worked on.
Yeah. Okay. And so, but actually, we can trust. We can start working with trust and evaluation, and then if while we are working, there's something up that will emerge as necessary, we will introduce it later on. Is it okay?
Sure.
All right. So, would you like to make this experiential exercise with Constellation around this as a follow-up, in order to better understand where you are at in this moment? And to explore the solution space to move towards the outcome that you're looking for. Okay?
Yeah.
We have to prepare some signposts for this session. So what we are going to do is that we are going to prepare a signpost for each of the key elements that we have identified. It's you. So you will write on one signpost your name with an arrow pointing downward.
Okay.
And then we will make one for the goal and one for each element, resource that we have identified. And yes, you can choose the color that you prefer.
Okay, so my name.
Yeah. Okay. Then another one where you can write goal, and then you summarize the sentence that you mentioned before, which is clarity on the primary topics to be addressed. If you want to further summarize it, or is...
You say clarity of focus.
Okay. And we know that you mean when designing or prepare or running an intervention.
Sure.
Okay. And with an arrow pointing downward. Then we have one for trust. Again, you write trust and then an arrow pointing downward. And the last one for evaluation. The reason why I ask you to draw this arrow is because this signpost, I will ask you shortly to lay out a map of this situation as you perceive it right now, giving a place to these different elements in relationship to each other, and knowing that, that on each signpost there could be a figure, like a person, who is actually looking in the direction of the arrow.
Sure.
So that's to create the dynamic of the direction gives the dynamic of the map that we are going to build. Okay. So you can put this down. Yes, we are done with that for now. So I invite you just to follow your intuition and map out the situation that you're describing to me, putting down the elements in relationship to each other. Okay, so we would have here Julia, trust, evaluation, and the goal of clarity of focus.
Yeah.
Is this okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start working with that. All right. Do you have any reflection while looking at this map now from the outside?
Kind of feels like a step-by-step process.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a ladder.
Yeah. And would you like to explore now the different elements so that in order to get a better understanding of the situation?
Okay.
All right. So just for your information, I will ask you to step now on each of the elements, and when you step onto an element, you will become that element. So when you are Julia, it's easy, you are Julia, and you will talk in first person as if you were Julia. Okay. When you step on evaluation, trust, or the goal, you step on them, and you are that element. So you will still talk in first person as if you are that energy. And if you need to have a conversation like we are having now, you just step out, and we can talk about everything. Okay?
Sure, clear.
All right. So let's start from which is the easiest one.
Stand on the paper.
Stand on the paper of being Julia, being yourself. Yeah. And just allow yourself to feel the energy in your body. How does it feel? If you feel strong, weak, tall, small, balanced, unbalanced. If you have any specific feeling in your body, and knowing that here is trust. Here is evaluation. And that is the clarity of the focus that you actually cannot see because it's covered by evaluation. Okay. Well, how is it for you here? What do you feel in the body?
So what I noticed when I first stepped on here is
I
did feel quite strong in my legs, but then I could feel myself swaying backwards.
Uh-huh.
And with trust it felt, whoa, that's quite big.
Yeah.
I felt a bit of anxiety in my stomach and a fidgetiness around evaluation. And it was very clear to me that I couldn't actually see focus because it was
covered.
covered.
The goal was covered. Okay. Is there any other feeling that you feel or emotion that comes out here?
No, look, I mean, I feel quite tall.
Yeah.
I don't feel small in any way.
Yeah. There's this sense of
But I
swaying.
feel the swaying back.
Yeah. All right. You can step out. Take a little breath. Which is the next element that you would like to explore now?
Maybe trust.
Okay. Allow yourself, take the time to feel, whoa, how does it feel to be trust, and to explore the quality of trust as it is meant in this situation. Here's Julia. Here is evaluation, and here is the goal, clarity of focus. So, what's happening here? How do you feel as trust?
May not make sense, but trust feels full.
You have a sense of completion or fullness.
Yeah. I noticed when you stood on Julia, there was a sense of also moving back a bit and a little bit of fear. It made me question.
Okay. And have you perceived anything else when I was stepping on the other elements?
I don't think there's a good relationship between trust and evaluation. It's like, it's not conflict, but there's some issues here.
Yeah.
And goal was like, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
No big deal, it's goal.
Okay, you can step out. Take another breath, just to prepare yourself to the next exploration. Which one do you want to go on to?
Maybe we go to goal next.
Goal, okay. Let's get on the goal. And again, step on it and tune into your body, your feelings, and the perception that you have of the other elements while I step on them. Here is evaluation. Here is Julia. And here is trust. So, how does the goal feel?
Yeah, again, strange relationship with evaluation.
Yeah.
Something not quite right there. But I felt like I was being drawn towards that.
Okay.
Okay, there was a slight swaying towards that.
Yeah.
With Julia, it was like she can't quite see that something, and yeah, with trust, it was like, is there really trust that this is possible? That I, as the goal, am possible? There was again there's questions around trust.
Okay. And do you feel a good energy as a goal?
Yeah, there's a little bit of something sitting here.
Here?
In
Okay.
the stomach, which is often an indication of a bit of anxiety.
Okay.
There's movement here, put it that way.
Okay.
But the rest is like, yeah, firm, solid,
Okay.
looking straight ahead.
Okay. Do you feel part of this?
Yeah, a bit further away.
Yeah.
It's like being on the top of a mountain. I can see down on it
Okay.
all. Yeah.
All right. So there is a kind of a detachment from the
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
life situation,
But maybe
but you're there.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
As well.
But big perspective as well. Yeah. Okay. Great. And then we go the last one, evaluation. So how is evaluation? What is happening here?
Evaluation's not very emotional. Evaluation, it feels like I was swaying, but in a circle. So it felt like going around in a circle.
Okay, so there are no big... How do you perceive your position? How do you perceive the other elements?
Yeah, with Julia it was like, she's there. Something I can't put my finger on. A bit of a suspicion here.
Yeah.
And with the goal, it was good to know the goal was behind me. But again, not a great amount of clarity between evaluation and the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you can step out and come here on the side, and just and take a look at this at the map, and thinking of connecting to what you have experienced in exploring this map. What have you learned?
It feels like if I can say, like a personal relationship that on the whole is fine.
Yeah.
But there are these little issues that no one's really talking about, that are somehow getting in the way. So there's a little bit of questioning, a bit of suspicion, a lack of clarity, but it's not earth-shattering.
Yeah.
So there's something, that's what the energy feels like. It's like, something's not quite right here, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing the exploration, just a couple of things you mentioned. There was something about being the connection between trust and evaluation, Julia and evaluation, the lack of contact with the goal. There were some things going on.
And there's something about, is there a belief here amongst all the parties, if you like, that that's actually possible?
Yeah.
It's a big question around, is this even possible?
Yeah. But you know, the good thing is that when you stepped on the goal, how was the energy of the goal?
Yeah, firm.
Firm.
Solid, yeah.
So it looks like it's a reasonable goal. It's something that is at hand, that is feasible somehow. Maybe it's not yet approachable, immediately approachable, but we can work on it.
Yeah, happy.
Okay. So can we move to the next phase, where we actually, I'm going to propose you, I will invite you to, and I will propose you some movements of the signposts and some sentences. So we'll have dialogues between the different elements. And actually, it's an exploration. So it will be, we will experiment with things and to see and to find out our way in this situation to move to the next step.
Sure.
All right. If you would like to move something, what could be a good first move that you would like to experience here?
Trust needs to move, either to the side or
somewhere else.
Somewhere, yeah.
Okay. Here is a little bit
too
massive.
heavy.
Yeah, too heavy. Okay. Shall we start with that?
Sure.
Okay. So I invite you to step on Julia.
Julia,
Yeah. And now I will test a few positions for trust, and we will see what is the good one for you.
Okay.
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 This is the first one, and then we can try this one.
That feels more solid.
Which one do you prefer?
This one.
This one.
Yeah.
This feels more solid. Okay. All right. Would you like to turn around to look at trust? Standing on your signpost, just to turn around, like that. And to look at trust. Is it a good distance for you?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to say first?
I need you, trust at my back all of the time.
Yeah. And maybe you can add something like, I need your support.
I need your support.
I need to feel safe and that you are always with me.
I need to feel safe and that you are always with me.
Right. And maybe you can also, I don't know if it resonates with you, something like, I'm a grown-up woman now.
I'm a grown-up woman now, and I have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
The past is something to be trusted as well.
Yeah. And I need your support. I need your support as a resource to me.
I need your support as a resource to me.
How does it feel to say that?
Yes, it feels authoritative. Yes, trust must listen now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I invite you to step out. Take a deep breath and step on trust to receive the words of Julia.
I'm always here, you don't need to call on me.
Yeah. And maybe you can say, I will always be here for you.
I will always be here for you.
I've always been.
And I have always been.
And is it better for you than before, where you were staying before, being here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Is there anything else that, as trust, you would like to say to Julia?
I'm very proud of what you've done with me.
Yeah. And maybe something like I'm abundant.
There's no shortage or limitation of my resource.
We like to express these sentences in a positive way. So how can you rephrase that in a positive way?
Okay. There is plenty of me to go around.
Okay. All right. You can step out, go back on Julia to receive the words of trust. How does it feel?
It's a good exchange.
Okay. Is that good enough?
Yes.
Okay. So you can turn around, staying on your signpost. And is there anything that you want to say to evaluation? I want you as a resource to me.
I want you as a resource to me. I know my value. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I need you as a support to work
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I know what I'm doing, and I still need your support in order to work more efficiently.
How is it to
Yeah.
say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because sometimes it's like evaluation is staring at me.
Yeah.
It's evaluating me,
Yeah.
which makes me not want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to step out and receive the words from to step on evaluation, to
Sure.
get a step out, step on to evaluation, and receive the words of Julia?
It feels neutral.
Yeah.
There's no charge.
Yeah. You have nothing with her, against her, isn't it? There's no charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just a capability, probably.
Yes.
You can bring the signpost to this side, close to Julia. Do you want to do it?
Sure.
To experiment how it feels? Yeah?
Like that?
Yeah, for example. Yeah, that's fine. And step on, again on it. And maybe you can say, from here I can help you.
From here I can help you, Julia.
We are allies.
We are allies.
Allies.
Mm. Yes.
How do you feel?
Yes, that's better.
That's better?
Mm.
Yeah. Is there anything else coming up as evaluation?
Yeah. Like any partnership, it needs attention.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, tell her. Please remember of me.
Please remember me.
Use me.
Pay attention
Pay
to
attention.
me. Use me.
I'm always there
I'm
for you.
always here for you.
Yeah. Yeah, because as a resource, resources want to be seen, want to be included, and want to be used. That's their purpose.
Yeah.
Is it better for you now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Is it a little warmer evaluation now?
It's a bit harsh, actually.
A bit
Yes.
hot. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay, you can step out. And step on Julia. And just receive the words of evaluation being here on your side.
Thank you. Thank you for being
Yeah.
there at my side.
Yeah. I need to discover the positive part of you.
Yes, I need to discover your positive aspects and benefits.
Yeah. And we know and we need to know each other much better.
Yes, we need to know each other a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. How does it feel?
It feels like maybe a courtship can start. Flirting a bit.
Flirting a
Yeah.
bit. Okay, yeah, it's a kind of, a kind of
Yeah.
gradual thing. Let's start
Yes.
flirting and see how it
Yeah.
develops.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's make one step out and check again with evaluation how it is receiving the words from Julia. We need to know each other.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. Is something changing inside of you as evaluation?
Yeah, I feel closer.
Okay. Do you want to go to get to be closer to Julia, or
No,
is it okay?
No, we're good.
It's good.
Good
Okay.
distance, yeah.
All right. You can step out. Go back to Julia. And just being aware of trust behind you, of evaluation on your left-hand side. What happened when you look at the goal?
You could come a little bit closer.
Yeah, we
but,
can do that, just like that,
But it feels like,
or more.
no, that feels good.
That was good. Okay. Would you like to say something to the goal, like something like, "Finally, I can see you."
Finally, I can see you.
How does it feel? Is it approachable?
Yeah, I can see you and we can work together.
Okay. All right. Step out. And let's see how the goal is now. Because a lot of things have changed since the last time you've been here. So, be the goal. And here is Julia.
Goal kind of wants to stand like this.
This is evaluation.
Yeah.
And behind Julia there is trust who supports her. What is changing from before? How is this different for you?
I just feel very, very strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you can tell her, finally you look at me.
Finally you see me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Together we can feel strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm strong, yeah.
I'm strong.
You can step out and go back to Julia to receive the words of the goal. Look at the goal, feel the evaluation on your side.
Yeah.
Feel the trust. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not swaying in any way. I
Yeah.
feel solid in my legs. That feeling's gone.
Yeah.
And it just feels clear, like obvious.
And what does it mean to open up a little bit like you did before? What is the feeling of...
I feel like I can breathe more easily.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Can we close here?
Sure.
All right. So I invite you to step out and take a seat.
Okay.
Sit down. And just what I invite you to do now is to really find a way to take in this new map as the new map, as the new inner map of the situation we have been talking about. And you can do it visually, or if you want to actually make a movement with your hands, as you like.
I'll do it visually.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because this is the new map that you will work with, live with in the next hours, days, weeks, and we will see how things will change with according to this new map. And by the way, was it useful for you to do this exercise?
Yeah, very. I feel like there was something, a very strong theme of partnership, being in healthier relationship with all these aspects.
Yeah. And what have you learned from this exploration, from this exercise?
I've always felt like the process of evaluating, filtering, sifting is going to be really quite scary actually, that it's going to be difficult, and I picture myself struggling, which is why I avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yet actually, if I see it as you call it a resource,
Yeah.
it's something that assists me in order to be able to go forward with more confidence.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be this difficult, scary thing. It's just like a conversation,
Yeah.
an attention that needs to happen.
Yeah, and attention to this way.
Yeah.
And how does it feel that having trust on your back
Yeah.
supporting you?
Look, trust has grown enormously over the years for me,
Yeah.
but sometimes I forget that it's always there.
Yeah.
So it was something about knowing that it was abundant and it doesn't abandon me.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
I just have to lean on it. When I'm coaching an individual or taking a brief from a client, is that I take so much detail and notes.
Oh.
And that's helpful to capture all the data.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm feeling like I need to sit at an empty table or a desk and just reflect on what are those key aspects, a bit like what we've done here. What are the 3 or 4 key things that come out at me, almost intuitively,
Yeah.
and map those. you know, and then it is a conversation with the client around saying, you know, these are the 3 or 4 things I'm picking up. Because I like the fact that there was only 4 things here as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could put 10 down, you know. But I'm saying, okay, but these 4 things, does that work? So there's something about having a clear, open space to just reflect, to pull out the 3 or 4 maximum elements, and then have a dialogue with the client, you know.
About the priorities.
Around the priorities. Often I think I've got to, you know, magically come up with it all myself. So there's something about a dialogue around saying, you know, are these the 4 things?
Yeah. In order to make sure with the client that are really the key points to be addressed.
And when they start saying, well, what about 5, 6, 7, we say, okay, well, maybe that's later, or what are the priorities?
Yeah, okay. And anything else that you would like to do to remind yourself or to ingrain this knowledge, about that evaluation and trust are there for you the first one as an ally, the second one as support?
You know, with the trust, I think, like I say, it's always there, but I forget.
Yeah.
So I forget how much I've been able to do right.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a process of just reflecting on, well, what did I get right?
Yeah, and maybe you can have also a simple or a funny idea to somehow remember this.
Yeah, and it's not even about getting it right. It's not, was it good? Did it meet an overall objective?
Yeah.
So, it's just about checking in with that.
Yeah, and how can you do that?
And when I'm, I don't know, doing my meditation, or, just when I'm sitting still, is to just ask the question, or to remember some of those things. I don't know, I'll have to think about that one.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, and it's okay, because when we do this kind of exercises, there will be things that will unfold or emerge during the next hours or days, so just pick them up and see what happens. Do you feel the need of making a more precise action plan around this, or?
No, I think I know what to do.
Okay.
To go back to this, there's a concept called recapitulation. So sometimes it helps just to play back my day or my week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because there's so much that goes into it, just to remember, I did that, and I did that, and there was this piece of... So to just almost play back the movie.
Yeah.
It's like rewinding on your recorder what happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm immediately, next thing.
Okay. And is something, for example, do you do it just mentally, or you like to journal?
No, I'm very visual, so I see it as a movie.
Okay, as a movie. Yeah, sure. All right. Is there any other question?
No, thank you. What happened for me is really an understanding of, the different phases of the constellation process, and what it feels like to be a client going through the process as well. It actually feels very seamless, it feels very organic and natural, and for me it was really useful because I've left with a new insight and a better perspective around an issue which has been bothering me for some time. So I find working with systemic constellations really useful in both my professional and my personal life, especially when we spend a lot of time talking about issues, admiring the problem from different angles. It's really useful to get to a point where we say, let's get other information, other data, by doing an experiential exercise, which often cuts down the amount of words and thinking and gets the client and myself into a more immediate state.